Hello everybody, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video because I'm working yet again with YESSTYLE. So as you guys know, I have been talking quite a bit about YESSTYLE and their available products for the last couple of months now, and I am just really obsessed with the platform. I think they offer really great products, and I have been loving testing out all of the Asian skincare and beauty products. And in addition to using some of my favorites, I'm also going to be testing out some new ones in today's video that they very kindly sent over for me to show you guys. So to start off, we are going to do some prep and priming onto my skin. So as you guys know, I have recently been loving this SPF over here, which is the Beauty of Joseon one, and I've used it up entirely. And I did have this one kind of on deck, so I am actually going to be going in with the Supergoop Play as my sunscreen today. But I really do love the Beauty of Joseon one, and once I use this one up, I do plan on repurchasing that one because it was so good. Very similar to this one, except I find that the Supergoop one actually has a bit of that sunscreen smell, whereas the Beauty of Joseon one I think is completely unscented, and it's really good for sensitive skin. I do think they have the same amount of SPF. This one is SPF 50 PA++++, and I believe that the Beauty of Joseon one has the same amount in it as well. So they're pretty comparable, and that one is much cheaper and I think way better quality even than the Supergoop one, which I do still really like, but nothing beats that one from Beauty of Joseon. I'm just going to continue rubbing this in, getting my skin nice and prepped. And then for some reason, my skin has actually been a little bit dry recently, so I've really been loving going in with my Dr. Jart Ceramidin cream, and this is actually available on YESSTYLE. I previously purchased at Sephora, but it's actually way more expensive at Sephora. It's much more affordable on YESSTYLE since it's coming directly from Korea, and you don't have to like pay those sort of built-in import fees, which is another really good thing that I love about YESSTYLE. You can find big name brands that you buy in Sephora on their website for so much cheaper, including Laneige, which we are going to be talking about next once I get my skin all nice and prepped. So now that my skin is nice and hydrated, I have my SPF on, I'm ready to start applying my makeup. But before we begin, I'm also going to apply a little bit of my Laneige lip balm. I love the Laneige lip balms. I use them every single day. I have one sitting on my makeup desk to put on before I start doing my makeup, or if I'm just sitting here working. And then I also have one on my nightstand behind me that I put on before bed every single night. I've used up one of these entirely. This one is about half gone, and my next one is already probably about a quarter gone, just because I love it so much. I even got my boyfriend to buy it, and he loves it so much, so he has one over at his house in his room, and it's just really great. But this one is in the apple lime flavor. I'm not sure exactly what flavors you can get on YESSTYLE. I do know they have the original berry. They also have it in some of the mini sizes, which they're even more affordable. I'll put up kind of the price difference here. Like this one is Sephora, which is super expensive. I think maybe around $24 or $25. And then this one is YESSTYLE, which they always are offering sales even on prestige brand products. So I'm not exactly sure what the price would be now. It does vary a little bit, but it is, as you can see, much more affordable than buying it at Sephora, especially if you live in the US. So as you can see, my skin is looking very nice and dewy. This ceramidin is the only thing that saved my skin. As you guys know, if you have been watching my videos for the last couple of months, especially during the winter time, my skin was super dry, and this was the only thing that helped it. I got a mini one from Sephora, then my boyfriend bought me a full-size one, used all of those up, and then finally I moved on to this one that I ended up purchasing from YESSTYLE. It really adds a nice sort of layer onto your skin, but it's not greasy. It just feels super kind of rich and hydrating without feeling greasy or sort of oily, but it really does give you a super nice glow. Alright, so now that we're actually going to move on to doing makeup, I'm just going to put my hair back in a headband so I don't get anything sort of in my hair or my hairline. But now we are going to test over the first product that they sent over, which is this. So this is from Vanav. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but this is an electric makeup applicator. So the kit that they sent me comes with two brush heads. It has this one, which is the sponge, and then it has this one, which is the brush, like actual sort of foundation brush. I really love it. Actually already comes with batteries, so you don't really need to put in batteries, which I thought was really cool. You can just kind of use it like right off the bat. I think what we're going to do first is start off with the brush part of it, and then we can always sort of pat it in if anything is sort of streaky or anything with the sponge tip that you can put on. And they're super easy to take on and off. They just kind of very lightly kind of clip right on. So there is also 3 settings to it. There's the first setting, which is sort of just like a still vibration. Like you can see the brush head not really moving up and down. Then it has the next one, which is a little bit more of an aggressive one. And then this one is also sort of up and down, but this one is just on sort of a slower speed. So it just depends what you prefer. We'll just, for me, I think start on the first setting and then kind of see what the rest of them are like. And then to turn it off, you just hold down the power button and then it'll beep twice and then turn off. With this, we are going to use use this BB cream from Hamish, which I've always wanted to try this brand, and this one I got in the shade 21C Light Nude. I did put it on the back of my hand. It looks a little bit dark to begin with, but once you blend it out, you can see it's a pretty good shade. This is the hand that I put it on in the swatches that you'll kind of see as I'm overlaying from the unboxing that I did. So I think that this one should be good. I'm just gonna probably take maybe like 2 pumps of it. The pumps of this are pretty small, so I'm just gonna take one of these and just brush this along my face, and then maybe we'll do like kind of one side at a time just to see. And then I guess we'll just turn on the brush. I'm kind of excited. It's supposed to make your makeup go on much nicer, and it kind of feels funny that it's vibrating. It's like a little ticklish, but like this is like actually really working. Like I'm barely like pressing on my skin because it's kind of doing all of the work on its own. And I do think I maybe put on too much product because it's streaking up a little bit, but that's why I want to test out the sponge applicator. And let me go across on my forehead. This is like the funniest feeling. Really cool though. This is like a super kind of luxury product, I feel like. I do think it's a little bit pricey, but if this is something that you've been looking for and you've been trying out maybe more affordable options, I'd say you just honestly get the real one, because that blended out so nice. It actually doesn't even look streaky anymore now that I look at it. I'm probably still gonna go in with the sponge just to see what it feels like, but that is like amazing. Oh my gosh. Also, this BB cream looks stunning. The color match is perfect. It has really nice coverage, but it still looks like my skin beneath, and it is extremely glowy. Oh my gosh. This looks so good. So this is the side without, and then this is the side with. It looks so good, and we didn't even do like concealer or anything yet. It is a little bit difficult to get under the eye, like sort of right on this very inner corner, just because of the shape of it. But it's not too difficult. You can always just sort of reach in and tap in with your fingers at the end, or with another brush if you'd like to go over with. But I think that looks super good. So I'm gonna add more to the other side, blend that out with the brush, and then we'll be back to kind of tap over everything with the sponge at the end. Okay, so I have it pretty much all blended out. I'm also just gonna switch it maybe onto the second one and see how this feels. Oh, much more aggressive. I kind of like it though. I feel like it blends it in maybe faster because it has like more maybe motions in a minute, I would say. Yeah, I definitely like the second option, and then we'll just try the third option, which is kind of like deeper pushes but less frequent. So yeah, it really just depends kind of on what you like. It just like really feels amazing, and I don't know if it's the foundation or the BB cream that they sent over, but my skin is looking so good and so healthy and dewy. Definitely gonna need to powder, but it really is looking amazing. Okay, so now that this is pretty much blended in, it definitely could be maybe pressed into my skin a little bit more, so I'm gonna go in with the sponge. I also think I applied maybe a little bit too much product. Even though it looks amazing, it just feels a little bit heavy, so I think that the sponge is going to absorb some of that really nicely, and I'm just gonna move directly onto the second setting for this one. Just because I don't want to swipe any of the product away, I'm just really slowly gonna let it do its thing as I move across my face. And you can see compared to this side, it definitely took away some of the excess product, makes it a little bit more skin-like, and I mean, this just looks so amazing. I wish that it could translate across the camera how good this BB cream looks. And with the sponge, you can kind of, to get in like the crevices of your nose, you can kind of press it in because it's pretty flexible. So I find that that works pretty well. The sponge, I think, works a little bit better than the brush when getting in tighter areas like around your nose or your under eye. So I'm gonna turn this off for now, and I mean, skin is just looking absolutely like amazing. This BB cream is stunning. This is so good. I definitely see myself wearing this, and again, the color match is like absolutely perfect on me. This is so good. Now for concealer, I'm just going to mix together 2 of them. I have one from YESSTYLE, but it's a little bit deep for me. This is the tip concealer from the Sayum, I believe. Yeah, it's from the Sayum, and I have mine in the shade 1.5, but it's a little bit too dark, so what I'm gonna do is just put a tiny bit sort of below, just to conceal maybe like any little spots, or like I have a little breakout over here, and then I don't know, just to match, I put it on the other side. And then to brighten, I'm just going to take this Benefit Boi-ing concealer. I have the shade number 1, and this one is just a nice, more kind of brightening concealer. So I'm just going to pop that on some of the center points of my face, and I think maybe I'm going to go directly in with the sponge this time on maybe the third setting. We'll try it out. Okay, so it is a little bit difficult, honestly, to get sort of on the under eye, so I think what I'm going to do is just go in with my finger just to blend out the rest of this, just because the tip is a little bit too big just to get under my under eye, but I do think it works really, really well for foundation, specifically with the BB cream. It just presses everything into the skin really nicely. So let me go ahead and finish blending out my concealer, and then we will powder, and then we'll move on to the next product that they sent over. All right, so now that I have everything all blended out, I'm going to go in with some powder, and this is so random, but the powder that I've been using lately is this one from NYX. I just have a little mini of the HD finishing powder in the shade Translucent. I was trying to find one that was similar to the Pat McGrath powder, and this is honestly pretty similar. It's not as sort of powdery, like when you tap it, like less product kind of puffs out, but the overall finish and effect and like longevity of it is very similar. So I don't think I'll be repurchasing the Pat McGrath powder anytime soon. I've just really been enjoying the NYX one. So again, you know, obviously this is not available on YESSTYLE, but they do have really great variety of options for powders and other complexion products. I just haven't been able to kind of get my hands on any yet. So let me just powder up really quick and we'll be back. All right, my skin is all powdered, a little bit more heavily on my under eyes and T-zone, and then a little less sort of on the rest of my face. I'm also going to go ahead and just do some bronzer really quick. Again, I don't have one from YESSTYLE yet. I want to do like another purchase, that way I can do kind of like a full face of YESSTYLE. But yeah, I'm going to go in with this Too Faced bronzer. This is just the Chocolate Soleil Natural Chocolate in Golden Cocoa. So let me bronze up, and then we'll be back to do blush. Alright, so I just did some light bronzer. Now we're going to move on to the next product that they sent over, which was blush. So this one is actually from the brand called Clavu, and this is the Urban Pearl Station Natural Powder Blusher in the shade number 4 Angora Pink. And the packaging on this is really nice. Like, it looks like a plastic, but it's really more of like a hard kind of acrylic, and it just feels really high quality. So I really love that. The color looks pretty light, but I do think it's going to be a nice sort of bright springy color to test out for the springtime. So just going in with a blush brush, I'm going to pick up some of the product on the back here, and then I'm just going to tap this where I would normally apply blush, kind of on the apples and a little bit back. And wow, that is actually showing up really nice. This is a matte blush, so I am going to add a little bit of highlight at the end, but I do think that the color is a really nice sort of soft color. I think it'll be really great for people with more fair skin like myself, or even if you're more fair than me, because it is such a nice light color. You can't go overboard with it, but it is obviously very buildable because, you know, it is showing up on my skin. It pairs really nicely with the bronzer. It just adds sort of an extra blend between the bronzer and then the rest of your face, and that's what I always look for in a blush. So I think that that is super beautiful. And then this is going to be a little unconventional, but I think the next step we're going to do is my eyes and my highlighter at the same time, and I'm going to do all of that using this palette here from rom&nd. And this one I picked up in my first ever video testing YESSTYLE makeup, and this is absolutely amazing. This is my go-to palette. It's probably my most used one. I don't really wear eyeshadow too much, but whenever I do, it's almost always going to be this palette. It is just super pretty. It has really nice neutral pinks. It has some beautiful glitters down here, really good neutral shades, and it is just an amazing palette. So for my eyes, I'm just going to keep it super simple. I'm going to go in with this shade over here and with a kind of big fluffy brush. This one is from the Morphe and Ariel collection, the makeup artist, and I just think that this works really well just to add a kind of nice wash of color and a little bit of depth to the eyes. And I actually think that the kind of pinkiness in it pairs really well with the blush that I have on today. Then for my highlight, I'm actually going to take the kind of sparkly shade in the palette here. I'm just going to do one little tap into it and get a couple of those glitter pieces, and then I'm just going to pop that onto my cheek, and it is just so pretty. If I kind of go into the light, you can see it just adds this beautiful pop of glitter onto my skin and a little bit of brightness. It's something fun, and I don't know, I just really love doing these kind of soft pinky glittery looks for the springtime, and I think that looks absolutely beautiful. And now moving on to my brows, I'm going to use the brow pencil that they sent over from Keradium. I'm not sure what the shade is. It's all in Korean on the packaging, so I'll just have to pop it up on here, the exact one that they sent over to me, but it looks like a nice sort of neutral medium brown, and it has this really cool tip. It's not a super skinny tip, but it'll be really good for kind of quickly filling in your brows, especially if like you're someone like me. Like, I already have pretty thick eyebrows. They just need to kind of be tinted a little bit. So I'm just going to run this through the front. I'm gonna kind of go along the bottom and then just swipe it up just to add a little bit of color. And normally I've been using eyebrow gel, actually one from Innisfree that I've gotten from YESSTYLE, so I haven't used a pencil in a long time, but I actually really like how this one is nice and soft and it's not too dark, so it still looks natural while giving my brows a nice tint to them. And it was super fast, like I literally did these in like 1 second. Then it also has a spoolie on the other end, so I'm just going to comb through my brows just to blend everything together and make it look even more natural. But as you can see, that worked super, super well. I definitely see myself continuing to use this. So now before we finish up and move on to lips, I'm just gonna go in with some setting spray. This one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one in a mini Fenty What It Do. So again, I don't have one from YESSTYLE, but I do just need something to kind of melt everything together and add to the final look. And finally, I'm just going to wipe off any foundation and powders off my lips using a little cotton pad. And before we continue going on to the lips, I'm actually going to take this little eye span glitter from Holika Holika in the shade 01 Candy Parts, and I'm just going to add the tiniest bit onto my lids for a little bit of a glittery thing, just to kind of tie in the cheeks with the eyes. And I love this. Again, also available on YESSTYLE, and I did try this out in my testing YESSTYLE makeup, my original one. Right, so now on to the final part. I'm going to take this here from rom&nd. This is the Lasting Water Tint in the shade 05 Rose Splash, and this one is just so beautiful. It is yeah, it feels watery. Like, water tint is a really good explanation for it, but it just tints your lips without kind of having that dry lip stain or lip tint feeling. Like, it does have this kind of glossy lip oil feeling when you apply it, but it does last much longer than products like that. And then I'm just going to kind of diffuse the top lip a little bit, and then this is the finished look. So let me just take my hair down and then we can do the final kind of look at everything. But this is how the makeup came out today. I absolutely love everything that they sent over. Again, they sent over the vibrating makeup brush, the blush, the foundation or BB cream, and then the eyebrow pencil. So I'm really, really appreciative. Thank you so much, YESSTYLE, for working with me on another video. I love their stuff so much, and I'm so excited to have a partnership with a brand and a company that I really, really love. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. Make sure to use this code that'll pop up on the screen here to save on YESSTYLE's website and support me. Again, that is an affiliate code. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.